Hi everyone, it's Eddie here at Eddie Makes Art, and we're doing some laser print transfers today. I'm using some of my own photos, and for this first one we're going to use the Liquitex Mars Black and just try to get as thin a layer as possible without taking off too much paint. I find the Liquitex Mars Black works pretty well for me. Notice I'm taking a little extra off because I had just a little bit too much. Take this photo here that I took and I had laser printed and smooth it out gently. And the trick with the laser print transfer is you have to kind of find your groove as to timing, depending on the weather and the situation. But this one turned out really well. And I'm picking it up with tissue here, but I wish I had picked it up with the background, but that's okay. It still came out really, really, really good. See, it's got some great detail and texture, and I can definitely use this to build on. And for our next print, I'm going to transfer the ghost print from the plate using some Liquitex Quinacridone Magenta. And again, I pull it up on some tissue. There was a little too much paint on the plate after I put the tissue down, so I had to let it dry a little longer than normal, but it's still got a decent print. And if you're wondering, I'm just using the Carnival wet strength tissue to pick up my prints. Now, I'm still working on how much paint I put down on the plate and all that, but that's part of the learning curve, and this is all me learning. And you can see here on the pull, we got some a lot of that off from the plate, and there's a little shimmer in there. It could just be the lighting. Now we're going to do this jasmine flower I took a photograph of, and what I did was I edited it in my computer, and I changed it to black and white and adjusted the contrast. And again, I'm using Liquitex Mars Black. And this one, it's an interesting one because it looks like it has a lot of contrast, but you'll see what I mean when I do when I do the transfer. It's not a lot of contrast, but enough where we get a cool print. As you can see, I'm just gently rubbing. I'm not even using the brayer because I don't think it's necessary when you're doing this sort of transfer. And you see this gets some interesting marks left behind, and I'm going to pull that. I let it dry, and I'm going to pull it with the Liquitex Parchment. And I like this as a pulling paint. It seems to always work for me. It's sort of like a buttermilk shade. And now I have some texture plates there you can see up on to the right corner, and I'm going to use them on this, but I don't think I used them effectively. But like I said, I'm still learning, and this is all practice. Yeah, see, this one, it got a good imprint. And then the next two, not so hot, see? Sometimes I get excited and I start to rush and, don't do things like I want them to come out. Again, I'm using the Carnival tissue to pick this up. And that's going to need to dry because I want to make sure that I get, good contact between the paint and that put down the paint on the plate. And now it's time for the reveal. I actually do like this transfer, how it came out, even with the texture. And you'll see even better at the end when I post the pictures of the prints that this particular one looks better, close up in a photo. I can't even figure out if it's upside down or not. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good one. Now let's move on to the next photo. Now this one is also a jasmine flower, but it's a dead one that landed on my front porch. I took a photo of it, and I decided to do this one in color just to see how it would work. And for paints, right now I'm using the Liquitex Soft Body Acrylic in transparent raw umber and the transparent red iron oxide from Golden. And just mixing it up here. I'm not trying to get an even color, I'm just trying to evenly distribute everything as, but it's not like perfectly smooth. And we put our picture down. And it pulls very well. It transfers very well. There we go. And this time I'm going to use another texture plate, and I think this time it's a little bit more successful, as you'll see in a second. Well, I guess you didn't see that because I think I edited it out. But anyway, you can see there that I used the texture plate that's right above my gel plate. That gives it a nice, cool brick motif. And I'm using Liquitex Light Permanent Blue and Color Shift in the Blue Flash to do a pickup here. I could probably have gotten away with this amount of paint, but I thought it might have been a little short, so I added a little bit more. Probably didn't need to, but there you have it. And again, I'm going to pick this one up on just some Carnival tissue. And it does have to dry, so I set that aside for a few and came back and got a really nice surprise. I'm so nervous when it comes to pulling these things up. I always go so slow. And you see how well that texture plate worked. I just love that color combination, that the light blue with that sort of, rusty brownish color. You see? I call that a success. I like that. That one has a lot of interest going on. And this one is a photo I took in Arizona of the painted desert. And let's try this one. Again, I'm using the Liquitex Mars Black to transfer the image onto my plate. And the trick again, I found, is just to, keep the paint as thin as possible without, taking it all off your plate. And this paint does dry a little faster than other colors in the Liquitex collection, but you learn to work with that. And again, it all depends on the humidity where you are and how dry it is. Now that's a successful transfer. And I'm using an older print that's already painted to pick this up with. And I think it turned out pretty cool. Give it a good rub. Make sure you get that good contact between paint and paper. And there you go. This is a print I did when I was doing my graphite transfers in the graphite challenge video. You can see some of that still in the background. This one is cool. I like this one. This was I believe that's a tumbleweed. And I love it's huge, first of all, and it's very, very, has a lot of great texture in it. Again, I'm using the Mars Black. Now, again, if I didn't say it before, I had these photos printed off at my local FedEx shop, and I had them printed on just laser on a laser printer with the laser quality paper. And when you do that, you can use these images a couple of times. So even though it's covered in black paint, it'll still have ink from that laser print, and you can use it a couple more times. And this one I think came out pretty good. Great little bits in there, and I'm picking it up again with another print that I did previously. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right one. I don't think it turned out very well for this particular one. But I'm going to keep it because I can use it. Keep building on that one. See? And one thing I've learned is you got to have some backgrounds prepared when you're doing this sort of laser transferred images. Now this one is a laser print that you can get from PM Artist Studio. And this is just a black laser, black and white. And I'm using the Mars Black to transfer it to my plate. It's a really cool design. And then I'm going to pick it up with a background that I did have prepared that is going to work really well with the design that's on the paper. And you notice I flipped it over that way so I could better angle it onto my laser print. Give it a nice rub. And you'll see it transfers very well. Look at that. That's a great design. Yeah, pmartiststudios.com. You can go on there and they sell these laser prints if you don't have a laser printer, and you can use them in your art. And this was the pickup. Isn't that great? Oh, I went too fast. I apologize. You'll see it at the end, though. Now I'm going to pick up this ghost print with some, I believe it's permanent. No, it's not. It's vivid red orange from Liquitex and a lime green. And I just do a little ombre or ombre. And pick up that ghost print with some tissue. I like how this one turned out too. Great details in this one. I'm really getting to like the orange and lime combo. Yeah, see, that turned out really well, and it picked up other stuff that was, I'm sure, on the plate from before. You can see at the top there, there's stuff from another pull. All right, let's see what else we're gonna do. Let's do the Asemic Writing laser print. This is also from PM Artist Studio. And with this one, I'm going to use the Amsterdam Prussian blue, and it's a transparent paint. It dries quickly, but I've also found that this particular color works well with laser print transfers. I do like to use the black more though because it's more predictable. This Prussian blue paint, if it's too dry in the atmosphere, it will dry on you very quickly. So you have to, gauge your time well as to when to stop spraying it and then get your print down. But this one worked out really well. And as you can see, got some great transfer there. And I'm going to pick it up onto a already painted background. Sorry for the shaking there. I got excited and hit everything. And those bumps are from the paint that was previously on the paper. And this was a good time to use the Baron because of those little bumps and stuff. So I was able to get in good contact with my plate. This one turned out fun. I like this one. This is another one from PM Artist Studio. And I cut this one up from a larger page. And here I'm thinking, what am I going to pull you with? Or transfer you with, rather. Because that's what we're doing, is a transfer. I didn't clean the plate off because I don't mind the leftovers there. Here I'm using the Liquitex Prism Violet. It's also a transparent paint, and I also didn't clean my brayer off. It wasn't intentional, but it worked out fine. Because the Prussian blue and the magenta and the purple go well. Now here's where I think I should have done things differently. I put down my laser print, and then I picked up the tissue. I picked up the paint around the print with tissue, where I think I should have left that step out, pulled up my laser print, and then just taken a complete pull from the plate. So you'll see here I just get like a big empty outline, which I'll use it for something. But the transfer worked well. And I'm going in and picking that up from, I believe I'm using a previous print here. By previous print, I mean something I had in my stash already. And see, that came up pretty cool. Nice and funky. Obviously, I chose the background because it worked well with the colors and the laser print style. So I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned because there are pictures coming right up.